So this is the lovely piece of paper with all the manifestos in it. And this is the round where we decide who's got really weird promises and take the piss, basically, about what they've said about themselves. And, you know, we can say as much as we like because you're all going to be watching this after you've voted, so it's fine. Right, so we have some of the presidential candidates that we're going to start off with.
Okay.
And this is very interesting. Yes, so presidential candidate Mitchell Hwang, I hope I pronounced that right. He promises to optimize, internationalize, I don't even think that's a word. And what's the other one he wants to do?
Well, we were talking earlier, and we did suggest maybe he was going to poke him in the eyes.
Poke him in the eyes, yeah, that could be a good option.
What were the first two again?
To optimise, internationalise.
So to optimise, internationalise, and surprise, I'm a rapist.
Why would you say that on a map?
Oh, it could work. Maybe it's one of those things.
I'm going to be at the booth.
It's a double shoulder.
Maybe it's optimise, internationalise, realise that my job doesn't do anything.
Yeah, equally could be on the good side.
I think he does. Have you seen his poster? He really needs to get a new photographer because I'm Mitchell. Are you? Yep.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps it'll be organised, internationalised, and perhaps you'll see my eyes.
Or one eye. Just the one.
Maybe he only
Perhaps
has
we
the
are
one.
assuming too much.
I know, I'm pretty sure he has two.
Maybe he was trying to take a picture and he was using the mirror and like it just went all horribly wrong.
I think not.
You can just have the old digital camera in front of you, can't you? Lean back.
Yeah.
My
Got it
face.
wrong.
Yeah, the one where you always chop off half your face because you've never angled it properly.
Yeah.
He's managed to chop off 3/4 of it. So it's some new way of taking photos we haven't heard of.
What I want to know is the guy just didn't put his surname on the thing.
No.
Yeah.
And you know that kind of way, when you go to look through your list of candidates,
Isn't Mitchell his surname?
No.
No, I thought it was as well, partly not.
Well, I think we shouldn't vote. I was worried because I was worried that there was going to be a Mitchell obviously in the Union President, in the Queen Vic. They're going to be
Yes.
everywhere. So
Get around.
they do get around them Mitchells.
Oh, they're
What I
everywhere, you
found
never know.
most bemusing about his manifesto was the whole idea of introducing an orientation puzzle. And I thought, what could that possibly be? Could it be a Rubik's Cube?
You have to do this jigsaw before you can
Take
start your
this,
lectures.
orientate. Yeah, that would literally be the orientation.
And it's not very
sides.
orientating, is it, to give you a puzzle?
Yeah, surely
No.
you get lost here anyway. Yeah. So the puzzle is, can you make it to your room alive from the pub? That should be enough for anybody.
Maybe
You know?
not, because as Josh has already pointed out, he may or may not be a rapist. So.
That's a very good point.
Rapists don't always kill, in fairness.
No.
Yeah.
They do sometimes just do what they do best and then
Fair
move
enough.
on.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, give them another go.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, is the answer not harmonised?
Her lovely melodic tunes there coming
Yeah.
out with harmonise. Yeah, I suppose we'll give you that one. There's some really internationalised, yeah.
And
got a picture of
harmonise is a
everything.
strange thing to say. Like,
What do any of those
It's
words
To
actually
harmonise
mean?
what though?
Yeah.
He hasn't specified what he wants to harmonise.
Yeah.
Music, is that what he's going
music centre to tune
for?
all the instruments? or
Yeah.
is he going to-
It just could be so much, you know what I mean? Yeah, internationalised. I don't even think that's a word.
It's not.
It's not.
He's tried to be really clever and, you know,
Invent a
I
word.
stick the word national in there.
And play with everything
Yeah.
there, you
It's
know?
not.
And just added lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Well, maybe
optimised.
that's a lot of what his manifesto is.
Cynicism.
I'm so old and cynical. This is my 8th union elections that I've been around for, so it makes me a cynic. Not in this university, I'd like to point out. Haven't been around that long. So Sam Shirley of Raw fame, he's campaigning to introduce tougher targets for a greater what? So he wants to.
If it's tougher targets, it's going to be for a greater archery competition, surely.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Really
those
tiny
are-
ones.
And they're really awesome.
See if you
mile
can
away.
hit this bullseye.
And they're on springs, so they move. You never know if you're going to get them or not.
Like the ones in the Gypsy Fairgrounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's for, thanks for
That's
that's,
right,
that's a minus point for Okay.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
So go on, what do you think his tougher targets are going to be?
Tougher targets.
Is it something to do with defence against zombie attack? Because
That's a very
frankly,
good-
I
yeah.
don't feel safe.
It's
I
a
mean,
high
if
risk.
Tomo comes back as a zombie.
Yeah,
You
that
mean he
could
hasn't already?
Well, good point. He's already here. We're not ready for it.
Does anyone think that Tomo should have been going with Tommy Precious's campaign slogan, "My Precious"? There's a bit of a, a Gollum connection there somewhere,
No, it's not,
isn't
My
there?
precious, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's something like, you know, tougher targets for a greater failure, because that's actually in truth what will happen. You set tougher targets, you're going to fail more.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yeah, that's a very good balanced argument.
Tougher targets, greater failure.
Yeah, that's could be a good way
I
to
think
look
arguably
that's
more
not
than
what
the
he wrote,
union's
though.
doing at the moment. If it's failing, it's actually doing something.
Yeah, really anything is better than nothing, the way things are going. And frankly, if you don't lose out all that money and go into such a deficit, I mean, that's going to be a
Are we
start.
going to have subtitles for I'm struggling and I'm just sitting this distance.
Was that another Irish?
No, it wasn't Irish.
Yeah, no, his tougher targets are in fact for greater energy efficiency and recycling on campus.
Recycling. I think we've done our own bit of recycling. Well, we haven't recycled as such. We've accumulated a mass amount of bottles in our kitchen.
That at some
We're not
point we may or
alcoholics,
may
though.
not.
Yeah, are you going to bring them to recycling eventually?
A recycling event?
Well,
event?
You know-
Sam might track you down and make you recycle.
You know when you put crisp packets in the oven and they go really small?
Is that recycling?
Does that happen with, can you do that with all rubbish? And then that was, you know, and then dispose of it.
incinerator.
And I think probably, if you put paper in there,
Isn't
you might
Coventry
just start
just-
fire.
Well, it's in
Yeah,
takeaway,
that's a
so
very
a
good
crisp
point.
packet.
Coventry is just an incinerator, all of its own. They just dump all the rubbish in there and then the Luftwaffe come along and just blow it all up every 50 years.
That only happened
The
once.
Nazis got a bad press.
But they did the whole world a favour in flattening Coventry. You know what I mean?
Your words, not mine.
Yeah, so that's it. So, but I want to know how this energy efficiency is going to work. Is if you, like you said, get a rapist on campus, we're just not going to have enough lights to see where we're going.
This is true.
Trundling through
Make the
job.
rapist wear like
Yeah,
lights with a hat, hats with a light.
that's a good
Reflectors.
manifesto point. Luminous headgear for,
For all
potential rapists.
rapists. Yeah,
You know,
that would work really
At least
well.
that way they can see what they're doing as well.
should make it a nationwide policy. It just makes sense.
I might give you a third of a mark for that.
Thanks.
Thanks.
What did you say?
A third. So yeah, well, it's unlike some of the other dodgy policies that we've seen. Which, yeah, so obviously...
It is unlike some of the other dodgy policies.
Yeah,
we've
so
seen.
we've seen the energy and efficiency seems like an actual, you know, policy, yeah. And it means they would imply that the university is already reaching its targets.
Would indeed.
Yeah, you know, which
It's an
was...
optimistic view.
It's an optimistic view. Unlike, I was looking at Andrew Glide's posters yesterday. Glidey, yeah.
Never been known as Glidey until now. But now he's running for president. He's down
He's
with
now
the kids.
Glidey.
He's Glidey because you've got to be cool to run for president.
You've got it, yeah, you've
He's
got to be
no
down with the
longer
kids.
Andrew Glide, he is Glidey.
Is he ever going to finish university now if this will be his second sad position?
Well, no, it's allowed, you know, it's been done in the past, but you've got to say, look, there's no jobs out there, so
Yeah,
just
try and get a
continue.
job in your
just,
union, yeah.
just be a sab.
I think he does have to leave. If he gets it this time, that's it. That's his lot.
There's nowhere to
And
go.
then he has
That's
to
all-
go.
That's what I'm going to get with a film degree, so I'm just going to try and
A
stay
film
forever.
degree?
Film.
Film, yeah.
I'll do my
It's all
best.
downhill, you
Is there a
know.
football club in London?
Oi.
Fulham. Get it?
Is that another point? 'Cause she got that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we might actually give her a point for that one. I'm not going to dock any marks for slagging off my accent.
So what did Andy say?
Oh yeah, Andy's got. What did I look at that was Andy's? Oh yeah, he wants to revise and reduce the cost of living. Now, yeah, he wants to have a freshers week though. You know what I mean? I'm thinking the two of them are kind of contradictory in terms. Plus, I don't know. Maybe
He also wants to bring the union into Coventry and Leamington.
Yeah, I saw that, and I just thought you've just spent how much money rebuilding the building. You know, like how much over budget did you go? He was finance and governance or something, wasn't he?
He was finance and governance.
Yeah. So how much of a debt did he get us into? And now he wants to rebuild it in Coventry.
£700,000 deficit, I think. Is that right?
Something like
Shocking.
that.
Yeah, nearly $750,000, I think.
Think of all the poor
Pathetic.
students that could be funded with that sort of money.
Think of the Domino's takeaway. It's amazing.
That's where all the profits are coming
they
from.
made a massive profit, haven't they?
Get a
Poor
cutout
students
from
like
them. Yeah.